All right, welcome back, guys. It's Monday, and we're going to take a quick stroll on down to the fancy serial number notes that sold. Um, Very active market, by the way. Everything that you're going to see today, which comes out to about 20 notes, all sold within about the last 24 to 36 hours. So there's a revolving amount of interest within this segment of not only numismatics but also a micro segment within the currency field of collecting, which is quite interesting. There, the desirability to go out there and hunt for some of these notes today couldn't be any more rich and robust. And we're going to talk about some of the more notable sales. Doesn't cease to amaze me, of course, that this fancy serial numbers, segment is growing in popularity the way it did. Guys like Kingdom Currency, myself included, doing these weekly reports and just overall talking about them. Because when you talk about them in a public forum where there's going to be a lot of people listening, it's going to take notice. And with that, we might be seeing more people shift from regular coin roll hunting to possibly strap searching, which is the practice of going to your local banking institution and asking for straps of ones, twos, fives, tens, whatever your flavor is. And it's a great way to hunt without feeling like you spent anything. I know that sounds kind of weird because you are obtaining something for cash, but the thing that you're obtaining is cash. So you could go through $500 in $1 bills. And you might find 5 or 6 different interesting notes, or you can find some star notes and things like that. And then take the rest of it back to the bank, and then kind of rinse and repeat the process with doing it. And I think because of the whole playing with house money deal, it makes this a very attractive thing to do these days, more so than coin roll hunting, which can be a little bit more cumbersome. You gotta have a magnifying glass to look at all these little varieties, things like that. But anyways, let's go ahead and jump right in and see what we have. The first note's like one of my favorites of today. Um, I guess you could call this an emergency note because it's 911, 111, all the way down. So this is a binary, so it's any two numbers. It's also 7 in a row with all those ones on there. Very popular number, by the way. And this is the earliest note that was that's highlighted on this video, June 24th at about 7 o'clock in the evening, Pacific Daylight Time, Pacific Standard Time, PDT. This one sold for $51 with 7 bids. I'm not going to talk about this little piece here, which is shipping, because either someone's going to ask for shipping or they're going to do shipping for free. But keep in mind that generally the shipping cost is part of the overall cost of obtaining an ownership of the note. So as you can see, this one, just by looking at the close-up, has a fair amount of circulation wear. And for it to sell for a $1 bill to sell for 50 times face value, aside from the serial number, sometimes grade doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. I mean, this is not at all a pretty note. And very fair weathered. Hard to believe that this would circulate to the existence that it does right now without at least one person looking at it. And this is just a testament to how undersearched paper money is today. I think we take for granted that it's $1 and it goes to a bigger pot of something that we need. I don't need to tell you guys that, but yeah. Yeah, really cool. And 911, 911 ones all the way down, $51. Well done for the person that found that. The next one that we have here, also a binary, also a low serial number because it's got the 5 leading zeros, but also it's a seven of a kind zeros. So you can look at it 3 different ways. But this is a really cool $5 bill. This one ended up selling for $121.38, 30 bids. So you're going to notice a few things like you normally have if you're a regular watching this every Monday. We don't talk about graded notes, and ideally we want to look at low denoms, ones, twos, and fives. And you're going to see here why, because I've splashed in a few like 20s and 50s. And you're going to see why it's not attractive to look at larger denomination notes when you're trying to look for fancy serial numbers. So this one's really cool. It's just like a errant four right in the middle of all those zeros. The note is actually in pretty nice shape. It's in decent shape. It's got a little bit of circulation wear. It's got a centerfold that's not too sharp. You can see some of that on the back as well. But $121.38 is a pretty nice payday on that one. So here's our first note, and this is actually a very attractive serial number. This is what they call quad pairs or four pairs. So we got, in this particular case, a $20 bill. Guess how much it sold for? Again, we're not talking about shipping. It sold for $20.50 with two bids. Now, if this were on a $1 bill, it'll probably end up selling for about 20 bucks. You guys see the difference there? What are you going to make the most money on? That $1 bill with the same serial number or the 20? All right, that's probably all the explanation you guys need to know. What would make this note even more cooler is if it had quad or double four at the end. So it's like a ladder step up type of variant, one, two, three, and fours. But anyways, there you go. Nice and circulated. I mean, nothing too crazy here. $20 bill sold for 20 bucks. The sad news is, eBay has to take their cut from this. So by the time this person ships out their item, they're going to end up losing money. They're probably going to end up losing about $1 by the time it's all said and done. The next one that we have here are two of the most luckiest numbers in numerology, eights and sevens. So we have this $50 bill here that sold for $70 with two bids. Oh boy, and it's a real shame too, because when you look at this note, again, you keep in mind, orient it correctly so that way we don't have to cock our necks sideways to look at these. It's just not attractive. And, anyways, so we got a binary, eights and sevens. All the eights are grouped together, so they're five in a row, or whatever, five of a kind, five in a row, and then you have three sevens there. Eye appeal wise, this is a chef's kiss kind of note. I'm surprised it didn't at least sell for double what the face value is. I mean, that would have been kind of like the right power play in terms of its value. I mean, what could have gone worse for this? Maybe it's the one bad negative feedback that this seller had obtained. Maybe it's the crappy pictures not being, oriented correctly. I don't know. But the note is in phenomenal shape. It looks to be crisp and circulated. The seller states gem. But overall, very attractive. This note would sell for a ton of more money if it was $1 bill, or a two, or a five. Again, how much you're into the note, compared to what you sell it for is really what matters in the end. So if it's $1 face value, you sell it for 70, you profit 68 or $69. If it's a $50 bill and you sell for that same amount of money, your profit shrinks down tremendously. Your profits end up being 20 bucks. And then less than that once you figure in the fees. So again, that's why we don't typically seek out 50s. Now, the question that people would ask, if you see this on a $50 bill, would you just toss it away? Would you go spend it? And that's a question that I struggle with mightily. A part of me would say yes. Another part of me would be like, man, that's a really badass note. I would definitely keep that either for myself. Knowing full well it's a high denomination note. Most people don't like to save high denomination notes because it's like it means more to its spending ability than it does collectability. All right, so aside from that, just a really attractive note. Now here's another one right here. This one is actually really neat. Now, ladders come in all sorts of different forms and functions. You have the standard 1 through 8, you have a 0 through 7, you have a 2 through 9, uh, you know, yeah, 2 through 9, so you guys get the picture, but it has to read in order. Now, there are hybrids like this one here on this $20 bill, which, by the way, is sold for $150. Generally true ladder notes that are in about the same condition typically command about $2,000 in the marketplace. They are one of the most scarcest notes that you could come across. So this one right here starts out with 00, and that's exactly what you want for a hybrid ladder. And then it just goes to whatever number it starts at, and then it goes up from there. You know, but the thing with this one, I don't know if you guys notice, it's not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's 1, 2, 4, 3. So the 4 and 3 are jumbled. Yet the note still manages to sell for $150. So again, when you look at something like this, you're like, oh shoot, it's so close. This person sold theirs for 7.5 times face value. You might as well try and do the same with yours if you come across one very much like it. Low serial number coming up next. Again, me personally, I construe low serial numbers as being 5 leading zeros and then XXX, whatever that last 3 digits are or less. So this is a $1 bill, sold for $27.09 with 3 bids. 176. There you go. 2017 series is the date. And a fairly weathered piece. It's been around the block a few times, so that's a really good sale there. We also have this one here. It's both a binary and 7 of a kind twos. So very nice, very attractive note. I mean, you guys don't need more explanation on this. $61.09. Lots of bidding on this one, 31 to be exact, but very attractive. You get that one Aaron 8 there in the middle, and the note looks to be crisp uncirculated. So that's a really good sale there as well. Oh boy, well, here's another $50 bill. This time with 6 of a kind 4s. Sold for $54 with 12 bids. This one is a loser. The seller will end up losing about $1 by the time it's all said and done. What could have made this note better? Well, if it had an extra 4. If it was 7 of a kind or 7 in a row, that would certainly push this one up into above $100 range, even for a $50 bill. But there you go, $54. Again, I'm not telling you guys to not look at your big denomination notes, but don't encase your efforts in looking at the high denoms. Always go for small. This one's really neat. This is kind of like the full potential of something that is marginal. It's 6 in a row, 7s. Yeah, it's also a trinary too, if you want to throw that in there. $41, 6 bids. This one was sold yesterday. 2009 series $1 bill. Bill's in really nice shape, by the way. Very crisp and circulated piece. Really nice sale there. Here's also another one. This is actually a binary radar. Well, actually, no, it's not a radar. It's just a binary. That last 6 is all the way at the end. This one sold for $28 with 1 bid. This one is circulated, but you can see it's got 6s and 8s. Very attractive on the eye appeal level because of the 8s. The 8s kind of make the note. And $28, one singular bid is a really, really outstanding sale. Here's another binary. So it's also a binary, and it could also read as a tombstone note. But in any event, this one sold for $11.50 with 3 bids. So it could read 2000 to 2020. The unfortunate fact that if someone lived during this time period here, these are collected, as kind of a tribute to loved ones that had passed on, in the year 2020 or whatever that last date is. A full tombstone note is going to be 4 digits and 4 digits. And it's going to be within the range of when a person had lived their life. All right, it's very macabre to talk about, but these have kind of like that very interesting little bit of interest on the side, similar to birthday notes. And it just can't be ignored. Like me personally, I see people will see this as a tombstone note. Some will see it as binary because it's twos and zeros. I think it's just overall cool, and then you could pitch it as both. This person here did not really pitch it as both. They were leveraging the birthday anniversary type affair, and all that great stuff. Now, finally, here's our true radar. It's not the most eye appealing radar because you have four different digits in there. And I like radars that are congruent and flow. Maybe they have two digits, you know. But a radar is a palindrome that reads the first four numbers of the serial number read the same way for the second set of four numbers, only it's mirrored. So very nice high grade example. It's a 1988, by the way. $65 for two bits. Looks like it never circulated. So that's a really high amount of money for a radar. They generally average about 20, $30 for just a standard run of the mill serial number. Nothing too crazy. We have six in a row twos on this one. Buy it now hit $32 um, on this, which is a dollar bill. So you have two different bookends, a seven and an eight in there, with all the twos in the middle. Very attractive. It'd been nice to see like the same two numbers on the bookends. They would call that a super radar, which we will see here momentarily, which sells for quite a bit more money. But you can see the amount of circulation wear on this one. Here's a true binary. True binaries are ones and zeros, whereas a regular binary could be any two numbers. It could be twos and nines, it could be threes and fours, things like that. So this one here is sold for $35. True binaries typically have a really strong supporting market for these, and the higher the condition of the note, the better. So ones and zeros on this ragtag looking $5 bill. That's a really good sale there. So here's a pseudo low serial number star. Now I say pseudo, and by the way, it's sold for $50. In that it has a four-digit serial number. All right. Me personally, I think it's okay. I don't personally see it and put it on the Mount Rushmore of fancy serial numbers as being a low serial number because typically I designate that with anything with five leading zeros. This only has four. But it is a star note, and I think that's kind of like the pusher on this one. They gave it a little bit of extra zing on the sale price. This one looks like it was a buy it now hit at $49.99. Here's another radar. So this one, it's all jumbly as well. Again, not my personal favorite. Yeah, this one was sold by our boy Kingdom Currency, by the way, $39.99. Kingdom Currency is the number one seller of error paper money. He is rated number one in this category on eBay. So, quick little fun fact: some of you probably did not know that. But anyways, that is his baby right there. Here is also this is our one and only birthday note. Sold for $15. Again, the potential with birthday notes um, is somewhere in that $10 to $20 range. The more recent the date, the better. They seem to just sell a lot better. And of course, condition plays a huge role as well. $15. This one is July 21, 2002. And it has to read as such. So it'd be the month is two digits, the day is two digits, and then the year is four digits. And it has to be in order for it to be recognized here, stateside, as a traditional birthday note. Now, I know it's different, like in Europe and all that stuff. They kind of do it in reverse and all that. And you could certainly play it to that if you wanted to. Just familiarize yourself with those particular ways in which they read dates and all that or write it down. But this is here in the U.S. how it's, I guess, oriented, if that makes sense. I know it sounds dumb and stupid when I say it, but just know that this is the more flowing type of birthday note. And our last kind of like big heavy hitting notes for the day, we have a super repeater on this $20 bill. This thing's really attractive. $100.99 with 13 bits. My firm belief is that this thing could have gone a lot higher if it wasn't for the fact that our boy right here had an 88.9% positive feedback rating, which is abysmal. I'll just say, because I've seen similar notes sell for about 150, so there's definitely a little bit of money left on the table here with this one. Super radar, you have six of the same number in the middle with two of the same bookends, and that's how it's read for. It looks like it's got a little paperweight, so I'll just say it is circulated. Yeah, it looks like paperweight might be like a soft fold. But really cool note. And $100 sale. Again, not too shabby, especially for a $20 bill. That's about what you could ask for. We have a super repeater on a $1 bill. Very beautiful. 2009. We got 3-7 repeated 4 times. And that's what a super repeater is two numbers repeated 4x throughout that serial number. So 37373737. The note is circulated, as you can see here, but in relatively decent shape. $204.50 with 32 bits is a very strong price. And this guy, Ronald J.H., has been selling all sorts of amazing fancy serial numbers for quite a while now. So normally when you see some of these big sales like this, it's going to be sourced to this guy here. And then finally, the big heavy hitting note for the day has to be this, looks like 1988A $1 bill, solid twos star note. What's even crazy is that this person did not put the word star note in their description or their title, which blows my mind. That's usually a pretty important thing to put in there because it's a main keyword that someone types in to look for star notes. But anyways, 30 bids strong for $2,247.24. And you see, you don't need to grade things like this because this note is circulated. So it doesn't need that extra consideration. You know, you're going to end up paying about 70, 80 bucks to grade this thing because it lands on a higher insured value, which dictates how much your submission fee is going to be. So, yeah, this is, again, one of the most attractive serial numbers that you could ever come across, and it blows my mind how many of these float around in cash registers. You go and get your morning cup of coffee, and they hand you this thing. Don't be surprised to see, a coffee stain on there, or sugar residue, simple syrup residue, whatever. But it's like, whoa, I'm trading this in for $1 worth of service. When in reality, it's worth $2,000. So, yeah. I mean, if you guys aren't looking for fancy serial numbers today, I don't know what in the world you're doing. I mean, I guess contentment is just being in your own lane. I'm a firm believer you got to do something different. Something different. Very positive. This whole hobby has gone to new heights, and it's been absolutely amazing just seeing a lot of these notes sell for what they do. Well, I guess that's going to go ahead and do it. That was the last note, and we had to finish out with a bang. There's just no doubt about it. But yeah, this is bang enough right here. It's banging. Um, Quick little note: we're going to be in Tulsa, Oklahoma for the big content creator meet and greet and coin show at the Cox Business Center. We will be there full days on Friday and Saturday. Thursday is setup on the 29th. So I don't know if we're going to be there on Thursday. We might be there for a few hours, but in any event, Friday is really going to be the big day, and also Saturday. So if you guys are in the area, come on by, come check things out, and yeah, Let's just have fun. I don't know if I'm going to be doing another one of these fancy serial number report videos next Monday. We'll see. Depends. But anyways, I think that's going to go ahead and do it for this one. So does this at all entice you guys to go out to the bank and get some dollar bills? Because brand new 2021 notes are currently out there for the taking. So might as well take advantage of that. And it's going to be new, fresh material for you guys to look through. But yeah, I think that's it, ladies and gents. So best of luck in your hunts. Love you guys. Thank you for all the views and support. And I guess I'll see you next time on Blue Ridge Silverhound. So long.